Hi guys. So we've been getting tons and tons of requests about how to make applications on Trac jobs as well as the NHS's website. If you're familiar with both websites, you realize that they are a replica of each other. For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll be using the Trac Jobs website. So the first thing you do is type Trac Jobs login, and then you click on the first option that says Trac Welcome. And then if you have an account, you simply sign in. If you do not have an account, you create an account. Now, since I have an account, we'll be signing in. Now, you input your email address and then your password. And then you sign in. Okay, now this is my dashboard, but I'll be applying to this same position, this pre-reg staff notes, just for purposes of this video. So you type your pre-reg staff nurse. And then it opens up, you click on it. North Tees and Hartlepool NHS Foundation. Now you're looking at the job description. Although it says for nurses due to graduate in 2023, but yeah, so these are the job descriptions. Now you have the essential as well as the desirable. When you see essential, it means you must have it. And then desirable just means, okay, whether or not you have, like if you have it, it boosts your chances. Now you move further and you see this. Are you currently an employee? No, you're not. And then your immigration status. I noticed some persons end up clicking the wrong one. They might click, I am an overseas qualified nurse, blah, blah, blah. If you're not in the UK, that does not apply to you because it says undertaking adaptation supervised practice placement. It does not apply to you. It applies to people in the UK. Then depending on your immigration status, if you have a dependent or spouse visa, you click on it. If you're a student applying for a full-time position, you click on it. But if you are in Nigeria or outside the UK and you do not have any of those, you click I do not have a visa or right to work in the UK. And then the next option is, do you possess or are you working towards NMC registration? You click yes, and then that's it. Now, because I have a previous application, I'll be using a recent application. So I'll simply launch that application form. Yeah, so now this is the first section that talks about personal details. And you notice that what you used in signing in is what you're seeing here. Now, always click full-time. They're not going to employ you if you're not applying for a full-time position. They're not going to sponsor you. Now, in this part that talks about director, I noticed some people start telling stories. No, I don't know any director. I got this job on merit or different things. That's not what they're asking. If you don't have any director or employee in the appointing organization, just click not applicable and move on. Now, this part talking about convictions. Do you have criminal convictions or unspent convictions? The answer is almost always no. Well, if you have convictions, still put it if you think you understand. Now, when you're done with that section, you mark it as complete. This application is divided into 4 sections. Now, we just finished one. The second one is application questions, references, and then the last section. Now we're starting the second section. Here you input your qualifications. Bachelor of Nursing Science, the place of study, your grade, and then the year obtained. I noticed some persons that have BSc, they just end up putting only the BSc. They don't include any other one. No, include as many qualifications as you have. There's an option there to click add. So keep adding as many qualifications as you have. Your diplomas, even though you wrote your CBT under the adult branch, all these other qualifications you have could boost your application. Now, if you don't know your grade, if you don't have your CGPA for your bachelor's degree, simply put second class. If you have anything lower than a second class, please just put passed. I see some people putting third class. Like, people just put different things. If you know your grade, you put 3 point something, 3.5, 3.7. If you don't know your grade, don't put 2.2 or 2.1. They will not understand what you're saying at all. You understand? Then for the diplomas, just put passed or credit or upper credit. Now for the relevant courses, this is where you input your courses like basic life support, PALS, ACLS, ILS, and all of that. And then you put the training provider. The duration, always put it. They know it. They know those courses are short. So don't feel, oh, if I put 3 days or 2 days or 1 day, they would say no. And then make sure it's current, because I'm aware these courses expire. I think some after 2 years or so. Make sure they are not expired. And then indicate your professional registration status. Always click UK professional registration required and applied for. Some persons mistakenly click the one below that says required but not yet applied for. That's not it. You've been verified by NMC. You've received your decision letter, you've passed IELTS, you've passed CBT, you've come a long way to still end up putting not applied for. So put applied for. And then under this part that talks about more details, put those details, your PRN number, your IELTS past date, your CBT past date. And if you even want, you could add the date you received your decision letter. You understand? You could include it. Although this information should also be included in like the first paragraph or the last paragraph of your supporting statement. In fact, I think it's better to put it in the first paragraph so that at a first glance, the recruiter can see, okay, this person has done all of this. Now, for NHS service, if you've not worked in the UK with the NHS, just put not applicable. If you have, you put the date and then as it applies. Now, the employer name. Some people end up putting Dr. Nnamdi, Dr. this, Dr. that. No, they're asking about the name of the hospital where you work. So now you put River State University Teaching Hospital. And then under the address, just put in River State, Nigeria suffices. They are not going to be mailing anything to you, so you don't really have to put number this, street this. Well, if you put it, it's not a bad thing, but if you can just indicate the city, the state, and the country, that will be fine. And then the type of business, what business do they do? Healthcare delivery, health institution, or whatever you want to put. Now, this reporting to job title, some people end up putting their own job title simply because they saw job title. No, they are asking you, the person you report to, what is their job title? Is it the head of nursing services? Is it a matron? Is a person the chief nursing officer? Do you get? That's what they're talking about. But most times, it's best to just leave it blank. Nothing will happen. Thousands of persons have gotten jobs without filling those information. Even the telephone too, you could leave it. Now, your job title could be staff nurse, nursing officer, chief nursing officer, senior nursing officer, principal nursing officer, whatever it is, just indicate. Now, since we're starting with the most current job, the start date is the only part you should fill. It's not logical to put an end date for a job you're currently doing. Do you understand? Because if you go to the top, you see they're asking for your current or most recent first. Some people make the mistake of starting with the oldest first. No, understanding the instruction is a big deal. Now, since it's the most current, it shouldn't have an end date, unless it's a contract job and you've been told when it to terminate. Now, period of notice, very important. Some people end up putting 6 months, 12 months. Period of notice means, okay, when you want to leave your job, what is the period of notice you should give your employer? Some employers will tell you, before you leave, you have to give us 30 days notice. You have to give us 1 month notice to replace you, to get someone that will take over that job. Now, if you end up putting 6 months, 12 months, you are telling these recruiters that, okay, I'm not ready to travel yet. You understand? And nobody wants that. They want someone that is ready to resume immediately, to fill in the shortage they are having. Do you understand? And you don't need to impute the grade and salary. Some people end up putting 12,000, 15,000, 30,000. It's not important. Reason for leaving, please put not applicable. Even if it is a previous job, please. Some people start putting, my mother was sick, I had complications with pregnancy, I had this and that. It's not really necessary. You don't need to fill it. People have gotten jobs without filling it. And then, of course, for the job description, you should indicate the clinical as well as the administrative duties you performed. Now, if you have further experiences, you simply click add, and then a replica of the form you just filled is populated. Now, since it's a previous experience, it should have an end date. Now, if you notice, the first application, the person started working April 2012. So meaning this previous one should end the month before. Try not to have employment gaps. Some employment gaps are valid. Yes, some people will say, oh, I was sick, my mother was sick, my husband traveled, this and that. They are valid, but they are not necessary. If you can avoid them, do not include them. Make sure you close all gaps, because if you have gaps, you're giving them the impression that, oh, I'm rusty, I wasn't practicing for this period. You understand? Nobody really wants that. Now, we've already explained period of notice. They don't have any, the period of notice for previous jobs are immaterial. They don't need it. It has no bearing with the job you're applying for. It's only your current period of notice they are really interested in, because it tells them when you are ready to resume the job if you are given. Do you understand? Under the job description, please make it as elaborate as possible. Some people end up putting 1 or 2 lines or 5. No, make sure it's as comprehensive as possible. Now you move to the next part, gaps in employment. Because you've closed all employment gaps, this part should be not applicable. Supporting information is very, very important. Very important. At a later date, we'll give you it will tell you about things you should include in your supporting information that would make it attractive. It has to be comprehensive, so that it should include your CBT you've passed, your IELTS, your decision letter, your clinical skills, the departments you've worked in, what you bring to the organization, what you expect to gain from them. It's a mutually beneficial something. Now, that should be no. And then we're done with this section. Mark section as complete. Now, for references, the case in question is the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. That's what we've been using. And the person started working there April 2012. Now, this reference should cover the last 3 years. As you can see, it covers the period the person started working there, April 2012 till November 2022. See it here, April 2012, that's when the person started. Now, we said this is October, right? October 2022. Now, we're saying that it covers from April 2012 till November 2022, because don't forget the period of notice you already gave. You mentioned that your period of notice is for 30 days, right? That's 1 month. So if you're applying today, it means if you get the job today, you have to give them 1 month notice. So meaning your reference should cover till the next month. You get. So you put their name, the referee's name, surname. The referee's organization name is the name of the hospital. Their job title, you impute it, head of nursing services or whatever their job title is. Now you see the three options. Since it's an employer, it has to be employer/line manager. Some people end up putting personal or character reference. Most recruiters do not like it though. To be very honest, some don't like it. In fact, some will explicitly say it that, see, we do not want personal or character references. Others that don't tell you will mark it against you. They would obviously pick someone else that has, an employer reference. So that is that for that. The address, like I said, it's not so important. And the postcode, some people end up putting +234. +234 is your country code. It's not your postcode. If you're not sure what your postcode is, you simply Google it, put your address in Google, and then request for your postcode. It will come out. If you are not sure, you've searched Google, you can't see it, simply leave it blank instead of putting +234 and giving them the impression that you don't know what you're talking about. And then this part about what name will the referee know you by if different from your current name. Some people end up putting the referee's former name. No, they're talking about your own name. Have you changed name? If you even changed name and you're still working, you changed name, maybe you got married when you were in your current employment. Of course, they already know you changed your name. So you don't need to fill those parts. You could just put not applicable, not applicable. You understand? Some people will end up putting their full name, and then the part that says, why has your name changed? They put, my name has not changed. You don't have to fill it. You must not fill every box here. People have gotten jobs without filling those things. You understand? But if your name has changed, maybe from your previous employment, your name changed after you left and you think they may not know, then that's where you have to put it. Okay, I was answering this name before. My name changed because of marriage. You understand? We'll understand that for a previous employment. But if you are putting it for a current employment, no. That's not right at all. Because if you got married in your current employment, they would know you've changed your name, right? And then don't forget, it must cover the last 3 years. So now we've given an example with this one that started working in April 2012. Now, what if it's someone that's okay, we'll get to that later. Now, this last section about equality and diversity, date of birth, gender, married, Black or Black British African is the option. Some people end up clicking something else. Female, married, there are options. Any option that applies to you, you click it. And then Black or Black British African. If both parents are from Nigeria, of course, that's the option you pick. If one is mixed, then you pick the other one that says mixed white and Black African. But some people that are black, they end up picking something else. Well, I don't think it's an important part though, but just still click the right thing. And then heterosexual or straight, if you're attracted to someone of the opposite sex, you're a lady, you're attracted to guys, then you pick heterosexual or straight. If you are a lady, you got married to a man, you pick heterosexual or straight. Some persons have picked bisexual because they didn't understand what heterosexual or straight meant. But when you tell them, oh, see what you picked, they'll say, no, that's not what I intended to pick. So it's almost always heterosexual or straight, well, unless you're not. Right. And then the last part And then some people feel that if they don't disclose their sexuality, that it's a problem. No. The last part, of course, you put your religion, Christian, Islam, or anything. And then disability. Do you have any disability? No. Please state where you first saw this advert. Now, if you notice, I'm clicking the health jobs, blah, blah, blah. If you look at the left-hand corner, you notice that that's the website showing. So that's what you click. You click on that. And then you save and next. I agree to the above declaration, yes. And then you save. You close and then you mark section as complete. And then you submit application. They ask you, are you sure you want to submit? Confirm it. And you say, yes, I have checked my answers. And that is it. With time, we're going to be talking about different ways to immigrate to other countries, like UK, how to immigrate to the UK from start, to Canada, to US, Ireland, New Zealand, and many more. We're also going to talk more about the supporting information because it's very, very important. What should be included in your supporting information? We would include that. And if you notice, after making this application, you get a notification to your mail showing, oh, you've applied for this position. And then when you're contacted by the trust, you also get a mail. So it's best to also always check your mails. So that's it. Thank you for listening. And please subscribe to our channel as we'll be dropping very, very interesting and important tips. Bye.